everyone, welcome to Kats Creations live on a Friday night where I'm super excited to make this year's 2020 gingerbread wreath. So I'm so glad you guys joined us. We're going to be doing a poof method, which we have not done for a while. So if you have a ton of 21-inch Deco mesh like I do, this is going to be the perfect design for you. We're going to be using a gingerbread sign that was from Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop. I'm going to say Craft Outlet because I haven't ordered anything from the Wreath Shop for a while. We'll go over the ribbons when we get to the ribbons. We're going to add some cute, fun little embellishments to it. And what else? I think that's it. So let me get through our housekeeping at the beginning of our video. So if you like this design and want to replicate this, make sure you click the share button down at the bottom. The share button allows you to share it to your Facebook page, and then that way it's easier for you to find rather than sort through all of my videos. This is Friday, by the way, October the 9th, the year 2020, just in case people are watching this, I don't know, next year this time. Make sure that if you want to be notified when we go live, that you hit the like and follow button. This is for Facebook viewers only. That way when we decide to do an impromptu video, you'll be notified that we're going live. YouTube subscribers, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, it's a replay from an earlier Facebook Live. But go ahead and hit the subscribe button, which is going to be at the upper right-hand corner. It's a little bell, and then you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. You can feel free to like and comment, or not like and comment, but comment to the video. I do go through my YouTube subscriber channels every day and make sure that I'm addressing any comments. A list of the vendors that we're using tonight, like Craft Outlet, or trying to think of what else, where we got the ribbon from, those will all be listed in the description box below. First timers, I want to welcome you. If you're a first timer, let us know where you're from. We'd like to try to connect you with someone who's fairly close to you. And that's pretty much about it. Do we have anything?
How's the sound?
Oh, yes. So we've been working on the sound issue. Thank you, YouTube subscribers. You've been very vocal about the sound quality. So we have been diligently working on it and working with Mevo to try to improve the audio quality. We worked on the video quality, got that honed in again. And now we should be working on the audio. So if it sounds good on your end, can you guys give me a thumbs up and let me know everything is good? Otherwise, let me just make sure where I'm at. I was reading what you wrote. You can't catch me, gingerbread man. So yeah, I always like to look at Steve's little things. Okay, so welcome. So do we have anyone joining?
We do. Nancy said sounds a lot better. Kathy said sound is great. Melody said sounds good. No static noise, right?
Yeah, none of that crackly thing.
Michelle said hello. I did a gingerbread swag today. Awesome.
Oh, how fun. It must be a theme today.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Jane. Gail, Judy, Pamela. A bunch of other gals are on, so they're all giving a bunch of thumbs up. So it sounds like
it's
good.
Gotten better. Okay, good. So shout out to Gail and Crystal. They're in Florida at a crafters retreat working on wreaths as we speak. So I'm hoping this will inspire you guys to a new design. So it's always interesting because there's so many different variations of a gingerbread wreath. So my take on this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to play in the palette using this 21-inch roll of Deco mesh, which I got from Joann's last year. This was huge. Like, I think I bought every roll of the 10-inch Deco mesh that they had in this color palette, and I thought I had like one left that I could squeak out. Unfortunately not. So this forced me to do 21-inch, which we haven't done a poof in, I don't know, a long time. So we're going to do poof tonight. But first I got to finish wiring up this 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame, which came from the Dollar Tree. So before you are getting ready to do poof or any method, the one thing you want to do with all of your wire wreath frames is just give each section just a little gentle squeeze. Sometimes you get some weld marks that are kind of in between the rails, and those can break loose, especially if we're tying our pipe cleaners too tight. So with this one, it has 6 sections. It has 4 rings that make up the entire wreath. And we are, wow, clearly I can't follow a pattern because it should have stopped right here. Oh no, we're good. Okay, so the pattern. Some people ask, why do you color code your pipe cleaners? Sometimes it has a method to the madness. In this case, it just looks pretty. It matches the Deco mesh, so I just take it one step further if I can and kind of color coordinate things if I need to. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to look in each section. On the 2 weld marks, you're going to center your pipe cleaner, wiring the 2 innermost rings together, about as close to center as you can get. It doesn't have to be perfect, just like this. And then we're going to do the 2 outer rings, but using the weld mark and our pipe cleaner for middle ground. We need to do white. I just have like red, white, and beige the whole way, all the way around. So that was like my whole method to my madness. Now, do you guys have any questions about the wire wreath form? This will work. This is the same one you guys see me do on cruffles, do on ruffles, do on curls. This will actually even work for the poof method that we're doing tonight. So this is kind of like, for me, a universal work wreath frame that you can do pretty much almost any single type of Deco mesh method, including the one on the back door, which is a curl and weave. It looks a little bit bigger because you're actually using 2 different 21-inch. And we will be getting to that. I don't know if we'll get to it in the month of October. I will try and teach you how to do that method as well. Any other questions you guys have about the form before we go ahead and start poofing?
No, that's it. Joyce said, I love that mesh. And then Michelle, the one who said she did that gingerbread swag, she said it sold same day, so that's awesome, Michelle.
See? It's such a great feeling.
And then Tony asked, where do you get your beautiful colored pipe cleaners?
Okay. On these ones, they all came from Hobby Lobby. So Hobby Lobby will sell the 140 big pack, that's what I call it, of the white and the beige. And I think the red, I'm trying to think. I know red comes, it might just come in a 100 pack. But usually Hobby Lobby, if I'm in Shinoda, I will pick up a couple boxes of each color, because Shinoda doesn't have all the colors, but their pipe cleaners are really thick and they're really strong. So Hobby Lobby for the most part. Okay, so starting off our poof method, we need to gather this mess at the beginning. So all you're going to do...
Mess or mesh? Bit of both.
Bit of both. We don't want to mess with the mesh. So we're going to gather all this together. And this is a natural fiber. And so it's already got some really long pieces. And I'm going to take the rest. I'm going to drop this below. Look, it's still doing that. There it goes. And we're going to take this and we're going to go in between. So Steve's going to zoom in. I'm going to go in between rail number 2 and rail number 3. That's the rings on the outside. Right on a crossbar with a 6-inch zip tie. So I'm going to go in between those, flip this over, and then I'm going to go in between number 2, the second innermost ring, and I'm going around the outside of that weld, and I'm going to zip tie that and then snip that off.
Awesome. Simone, she said, did the poof recently on a fall wreath. I love how it gives so much volume.
It really does. And that's the perfect thing, right? Some people go, well, how do you know, do you do poof or ruffle? For me, I didn't have this color mesh in 10-inch, so I had to do poof. But if you want things fluffy, how can I describe that? Big and fluffy, like a big fat
like
pillow.
Poofy.
Well, besides being poofy, just big and round, you're going to use a poof. If you want stuff that's laid more flat, you're going to want to use a ruffle method.
Marianne, it's a Dollar Tree 14-inch form.
Yep.
Carrie said, asked her, do you ever do the opposite on each section like one section, 2 top, 1 bottom, and the next section, 1 top and 2 bottom, and so on, or always the same?
It's always the same. Just because the inner circumference is a lot tighter, the outer one I can get more pipe cleaners on. I wouldn't be able to really do 2 to the inside. It'd feel cluttered.
Plus you would need 12 on the inside and 6 on the outside. You wouldn't have enough to cover the outside.
Yeah. So I'm going to flip all these down so they don't get in the way. And I do the inner one first. So we're going to do the 6 inners. So we need to make sure those aren't in the way. And I generally do 10-inch poofs. So you can decide what works for you. Some people do 8-inch on the inside and then 10-inch on the outside. Whatever works. There's no cut and dry method on that. This being a little lightweight deco mesh, it's not so thick. I'm just going to do 10-inch poofs. So I'm going to pull up this right here on my first pipe cleaner.
Marianne asked, what kind of mesh is that?
It's a fabric or jute burlap mesh. So it's got all natural fibers. It has very little polypropylene or plastic, the plastic deco mesh. Mm-hmm. So the thing that I find is helpful when you're making poof wreaths, take your time and make your poofs consistent. So if you're doing 10 inches like I am, keep it 10 inches all the way around. And you can see I'm kind of poofing as I go. So I'm kind of opening those up. It just kind of, for me, speeds up the process a little bit. So I don't have to poof later.
Hi gals, just joining in.
It also means that I don't get the undersides of my mesh stuck on the top or stuck underneath, and then I can't poof it when I'm all done. So doing it this way just makes sure everything's out of the way. And it'll go pretty quick.
And you're doing the inside ring first, and then you'll...
Inside
transition.
First, then the outside. Okay, let's go this way. And flip.
Tammy, that's easy. She asked, how do you keep your pipe cleaners from sliding around or keeping them stationary?
If you do the 2, wire them together on the 2 rings, they shouldn't slide around.
Yep. You got to pull a little bit tight, but yeah.
Yeah, not too tight to really try to separate the rings from the frame, but just tight enough to get them on there. And that's why we do put a pipe cleaner around 2 and not just 1. And then you don't have to, for me, I don't have to glue it to keep it in place.
Ronnie, I think she got this mesh at Craft Outlet.
This came from Joann's.
Oh, it's Joann's. Oh,
Last year, Joann's.
This is Joann's.
And did you guys hear that Joann's has 70% off doorbusters going on right now? So all their fall stuff is 70% off today. So I might be sneaking out afterwards just to go see if there's anything worth getting 70% off for. That'd be great if they had their Christmas out yet. So I've got to get one more in. And so this one is, remember, we've got it kind of started a little bit halfway. So I have to connect it with this one. So we're just going to pop over here.
Gretchen has an interesting question. She said, I love the poof method. I know you like 10-inch poofs. Is it a waste to do 12?
Yes, because not a waste. It just means that doing it this way with 10-inch poofs guarantees that I will finish with a whole roll of deco mesh used. If I do 12-inch, the method that I'm going to show you tonight, I would come up short, and then I would have to dip into another roll of 21-inch, which I don't want to do. I want to get rid of my 21.
She literally has just a couple inches left, usually by the time she finishes.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I join these 2 together, and then this is the question everyone always has is, okay, you made your circle, right? I think of it like a flower that you make when you're a little kid. You have the round circle, and then you had the petals, right? That's kind of what we're doing with the poof. So we started with, here's our circle, here's our little petals. So we've got to finish that so that we don't just end where we have another pipe cleaner. And so now we have to get to the outside so we can poof the outside as well. So what I do is, here is my pipe cleaner, or here's the upper, here's the lower. This is where I left off. I'm actually going to just jump right down to this one So I measured out my 10, made sure it's all not folded. You can kind of lift the top one if you need to. And I'm just gonna go ahead and plop this one right in to the outside. And I usually put like 2 twists on them because I've had it happen before where they come undone. So best to be sure. So this one's kind of all folded. So sometimes you have to just pull everything back out and then just restart your poof again. Just like so. Just make sure everything looks nice and even. And then we're just gonna go to the outside now. So we got to the first one. So now we're going to go all the way around the outside. This way it'll give us 6 on the inside and 12 to the outside. And this particular mesh likes to stick to each other, which is good in a sense that it holds itself almost like Velcro to the other pieces.
Robin said that's a great way of explaining it, the petal, the flower.
Like
petal.
the little kid flower?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I had to draw it out for my private group. They're like, I just don't get it. And I'm like, okay, think about like back in school when we drew our flowers when we were a kid. We did the circle and then we did petal, petal, petal. You're going to have that 6 times. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's too bad, Carrie. She said she went 2 weeks ago and fall was gone. And so she told me I was a week or 2 late.
Really?
And then Simone said, Kat, do you find that the quality of the pipe cleaner helps for pulling tight and preventing slip?
Not really, because I've like the ones I'm using tonight, like the red are from Shinoda, but the white are, I don't know from where they are, but these ones are a little thinner. They don't have the strength that the Shinoda ones that I like do, but I can make them work. I think it's just a personal choice. Would I rather have Shinoda ones? The really thick, nice ones? Yes. And I guess that's where you can decide if you want to invest the money and buy bigger. But Shinoda's, like, they're limited. So they're only going to have your base colors, your secondaries. They have white, black. They don't have gray. They have brown. And then, red, yellow, blue, purple, green, orange. They have some metallics, and then that's it. So if you want something like, purple metallic, you're gonna have to go to places like Dollar Tree where they're selling it with their Dollar Tree Halloween stuff. So the outside generally takes me a little bit longer. And I've been out of practice. I haven't made a poof in, I can't even tell you when it was the last time. Because I've been trying to stick to easy for people that are just learning. And the poof is, believe it or not, probably the 3rd or 4th hardest method to master. So if you've got the poof method down pat and you consider yourself a beginner, pat yourself on the back because that's amazing. Poofs are hard. They challenge the most seasoned wreath maker. You guys are asking some really great questions though tonight. Thank you for doing that because you never know, the person, there might be someone else on the live that really wanted the answer to that question and you just post it. So thank you for doing that. Okay. Always making sure the edges are underneath and to the outside. As you can see, it's looking nice and poofy. I don't know what I'd call it. It's not really a bundt cake because that's kind of like the bubble method makes it look like a bundt cake. What would you say this is called? What does it look like to you? I don't know what I'd call it.
I'd call it exactly what it is, a poof.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of it like food or like a pastry.
A puff pastry?
Ha ha. You're so funny. Puff pastry. Yes. puff pastry indeed.
Jean said, remember when you started, all we did was mainly poofs all the time.
Because that's all we had was like 21-inch Deco mesh. I think I was like, oh, Poufs are so great. They fill up everything. Everybody wants to know how to do a Pouf. Let's do Poufs. I really do need to dump my inventory, and I have so many really pretty colors. Because I find that sometimes the 21-inch doesn't sell out. So if you can master Poufs and get your designs down pat with a base method, you know, like this is the same method I do on all my wreaths, then you can turn out some really good designs.
That's kind of a good analogy.
What's that?
Judy said pull apart bread or monkey bread.
Yeah, monkey bread. Okay, that works. Monkey bread. Okay, we made a monkey bread. See?
Jean said, good one, Steve. Puff pastry.
Puff pastry.
Hi, Evie. Hi, gals. Just joining.
I am almost.
Darlene said butter braid. I've never heard of that.
Probably like a braided kind of
dough
pastry. Yeah. See? You can tell where my thought process is. Pastries. Okay. So now
if you want to send us examples of the pastries, you can send it to us and we'll review it and test it. And
yeah. Compare it to a Pouf wreath, right?
Yeah.
So this is the last one. So I'm actually adding this to the one that I did when I brought it down. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do to finish up. I don't really even need to do it, but I'm going to show you the method anyway. Just so that if you're working with a really thin Deco mesh. Sorry, Michaels. Sorry, Joann's. Sorry, some of the big name online retailers. Sometimes you just buy thin mesh. And so that's pretty good coverage just for going around the inside and the outside. Don't worry about the little pockets you see, because by the time you add your bow, your sign, your ribbons, and all that other stuff, those are going to be filled in. But let's say, for example, we're working with a really super thin mesh, or like me, this is the last roll I have. It really pains me to have to throw the rest away. So what we're going to do is you're going to open up the inside. So can you zoom in on this, babe?
I sure can.
So we're going to do what's called adding to the third row. So this is a method to either A, use up the rest of what you have on the roll, or if you have thin mesh, this is a perfect way to thicken it up so that you don't get frustrated and pull all this out and start all over again. So we're back here where I started, where I jumped down, right? This is my jump down from before. So I'm on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go right to the first upper pipe cleaner that I have. I'm going to ignore this red one. So 10-inch Pouf. Just make sure it's all nice and pretty. And we're going to join this one right down the middle to the top. We're going to be weaving this in and out of the upper and lower rails. I know it's going to be complicated, but just follow. Okay, so I'm going to take this and make sure all my mesh is pulled. So I'm on the upper level. So now I need to go to the bottom. So when you're looking at your pipe cleaner placement, you're going to have a pipe cleaner that's going to be really close to the upper, and you're going to have one that's just kind of by itself. So you're going to go by the one by itself. So I'm going to go beige to beige. Still 10-inch mesh, still 10-inch Poufs, and this will put me on the bottom. This way I'm in perfect place for going up to the top. So you're going to go from the top to the bottom, to the top to the bottom, all the way around, just on the inside. Do you have to do 10-inch Poufs? No, you can do 9, you can do 8-inch. You're just running out the rest of your mesh. And then, let me make sure I have my 10. It's always good to measure. And then make sure I've got the underside. So now I'm going back up to the top. So I'm skipping the one that's pretty close to that. So I'm going to grab this one. Go back up to my top. And then fluff that out, because you see I'm fluffing as I go, so I don't have to go back and fluff this. And you guys don't have to wait to watch me fluff it either.
And Tanya Ogden said hello here from Nevada, so hi, welcome Tanya.
Whereabouts in Nevada, Tanya? Okay.
I know there's a couple of the new gals here.
So I'm measuring. Trying to find my measure.
There's Kimberly from Bellevue, Nebraska. Hi, Kimberly.
Welcome, Kimberly. So this one, we skipped the white. So now we're going to, I'm going to go over here to beige, because the red is almost right below this one. So I'm just going into the next section. So each section, you're adding one to the bottom and one to the top. And then you skip to the next section. Technically is what it looks like if you were to see it all out.
And I'm still doing zoomed in, so.
Okay. So here, we're gonna go from here up to the top. So I just have to make sure my mesh is all right side right. 10 inches.
Colleen said I pretty much only do poof. I bought a ton of 21-inch mesh when AC Moore was having their going out of business sale.
See, so you've got a great inventory to tackle.
Yeah, but that's a good way to get rid of it.
It is a really great way. I need to do more of this.
Oh, Tanya said Ruth, Nevada, just outside of Ely, northeastern. Yeah, that is, I think, very northeastern corner.
So it's probably going into the next state, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to see where I'm at. 8. Here's my other 10.
And then Annette said, hello, nice people watching from San Mateo, California.
Ooh, we know where that's at.
It's a nice area. Yep.
So now I'm jumping into the next section. So this is the first bottom on, I don't know, 3rd or 4th section. So I'm going to the bottom. And then we'll fluff this out. And what I do is I tuck the edges in between the 2 different poofs, because we know how much Deco mesh likes to cling to each other.
Hi, Peggy.
Here's my 6. Well, it's 10 inch, but now I'm going up to the top. So I've got to go up to the top in that section. So I'm going straight up.
Darlene asked, so you do every other bottom ties?
Yes.
Yes.
So you do the one top and then you pick which one you want, but stay consistent. I usually take the first one and then go with that through the rest of the wreath until you run out all your Deco mesh. And you'll see it pretty much takes exactly the entire roll. So what I'm doing is I'm also taking the time as I'm going around and pulling the outside pipe cleaners back to the outside.
And this is a 21-inch full 30-foot roll of Deco mesh.
Yeah, it's already coming off the ground. So we're skipping and going to our next section. So remember, we skip one of the bottoms and go to the very next.
Debbie Wells says, waiting from Willamette Valley, Oregon.
Ooh, I love that area.
Carrie, yes, it is a zigzag.
Yep, it's just going like this.
She's running out the last of it in a zigzag.
This is the method that you would do. Either A, you want to finish the whole roll, or your Deco mesh is thin. I just figured since we're doing it, I didn't have to, but I would just throw away the rest of the roll because I don't have any more of this color. This is the last. And when I saw it, I thought, gingerbread, automatic. So now we're going up.
Jean, yep, 21 inches, great also for a bubble wreath.
Yep, and curl and weave.
Do the same thing, you can run the whole roll out.
Yep, exactly. Bubble takes exactly a whole roll. So we know we're not going to be doing anything with the insides. So this just kind of helps create a little bit of volume to the inside. So I'm just putting all my edges down. Okay.
Jackie, believe it or not, I think Kat has done a swag before with Deco mesh, and I believe she did it with a poof method, didn't you?
Do they do
I think you've done poof.
swag?
Yeah.
Well, we've done
the mantle.
fall. Yeah, the fall garland we've done on whatchamacallit, on you have to use
Evergreen.
no, it wasn't evergreen. You have to it's like a garland form. But yeah, we've done poofs for the door garlands you see on Pinterest. Those are all poofs, and those are all done on a garland form. And all it is really is just wire with a whole bunch of tinsel ties on it, so that you can poof and then just kind of put things together. So we might pull one of those out. Okay.
Sign came from, she believes it was the craft outlet.
Yes. Okay, so we're done. And
Stacy
look,
said I have that sign.
so this is what I have left. And I finished where I started, because here's my starting point. So I'm just going to pull this off of the piece. And so let's see how much I basically have.
About 20 some inches.
Yeah, like 28 inches left. So imagine how much I would have had before. So I'm going to take this now, this end. Actually, let me cut this because I don't want to go this far in. I'm just going to cut the rest off here. And I'll take that, toss the rest of that. And then I'm going to take this, and it's going to go back in between rails 2 and 3. So it's really easy to find. You're just going to move it. And here's where I started, and here's where I finished. So this is just going to go right to our finishing point. So we're taking a zip tie. We're going to zip tie this on a cross member so that it doesn't move on that rail. So that's why having that cross member just prevents it from moving. There we go. And then I'll just trim off this little tail.
Yeah, Stacy said I have that side too. I'm anxious to see what you do with it.
What?
The
This
sign.
mesh?
Yeah, the sign.
Oh, the sign.
She says she's got the sign too.
Okay, so there we go. There's our beginning. So nice and full. And now look. Now, without even adding any mesh, you have a really full monkey bread, right? Or pull apart bread.
Yeah.
You have inside and outside. So it is really thick, really full. It's probably already 6 inches. So this method will not work for a storm door. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna, hate having stuff around. We're gonna make the bow, and then we'll add our sign, and then we'll start embellishing it. But before we make our bow, let me just remove the inside 6.
Libby, sure. She said, could you show us from the back how you crossed
Oh,
the
yeah.
mesh?
Sure. I know it's so hard to explain. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can let's see. Which I'm thinking, will red show up better? Okay, so to do a zigzag, you're going to, because you end on the bottom row. So what you're going to do is go up. Boom. You hit this one, right? We're going to skip this one. You're going to go right to this one. From here, you're going to go up. Then you're going to go over. Then you're going to go up. Then you're going to go over. Right?
Yep.
Then up. Then over. Then up. Then over. So just like what somebody says, you're skipping, you're going every other one to the outside. Yes, because it's pointless to go here, 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 here. You know, it's stupid. Just go from the bottom up, go way over here, up, go
You're filling in the
way
gaps.
over here. Yeah,
You're
and all we're
filling in the gap
doing
sections.
is we're just filling this section right here pretty much up with the entire
And then you pretty
extra
much-
deco mesh.
And then you finish where you start. So
Yep,
see
you
the
finish
bow.
exactly where you start, because as you're bringing your deco mesh around to do the zigzag, you get to a point where you're like, ooh, there's a bridge right here. Like there's a wall, and that's where you stopped. That's where you went from your top and dropped down to the bottom. And then you started your middle row all the way around. So remember, you don't have to do the middle row. I just showed it to you, so if you have thin mesh, you can use that. If you have, like I do, this is a one-off type of mesh. I could probably pair it with like another tan and natural maybe. But odds are, you know what we do. We take it, we roll it up, we put it in the garage because we don't want to throw it away because it's still good mesh. But odds are you will never use it again. So either A, fill it, and then you're turning out a great quality product because it's super thick. I think this is the last one. Yes. No, I should have a red one here somewhere.
Well, Darlene, the 10-inch, you know, she really does well on measuring the 10 inches. Mm-hmm. That's how her poofs stay the same size. You don't see any ones lifting up, or she really follows that 10-inch rule.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So it should be pretty consistent. Like, you might have a couple that might be a little bit higher, but it's not a huge. And now you're just going in and cutting out the inside. Yes. Okay. So that's why sometimes color coordinating your pipe cleaners helps. So I knew I was short a red one somewhere. Okay. Now, bow. So for our bow, we are going, using the Bodabra, we're going to use the Gingerbread Man with the tan. It has gingerbread boys, gingerbread girls. And then we're also going to use, this was new this year. So these are both from Craft Outlet. This has gingerbread people with candy canes and the red truck. So it's kind of giving you a little bit of both. And then we're going to be using the 1.5 inch gingerbread. This is a velvet ribbon. You want to feel that? It feels so nice. It's nice and thick, and it's fuzzy. We're going to be using an 1.5 inch red. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's not really a red. It's kind of like a faded red, which is perfect because it goes with that country feel. This was from Joann's. This is from Craft Outlet. We're going to be doing the red and cream colored plaid. This was from Joann's. These were, I think, I'm looking at the date. This was 2019. This was 2018. And then we're going to come in with a brown plain canvas for this entire design. So I think this is the way I'm going to run it. This is where I just pick and choose what I want with all of my mesh, all of my ribbon. So we need something nice and cute and pretty on the outside. So maybe we'll do this, I don't know, this, and then this. I always play like this because then I could kind of mix them around before I put them together in a bow. So I always tell you guys to find a really cute, fun pattern for the last ribbon because this is the one you're going to see first. So we're going to put the white down because we already have so much natural. So
Melinda asked, when ordering from Craft Outlet, how long does it take to receive order? Average time 7 to 10 days, right?
It depends on where you live. I live in Southern California, and I think that they're pretty much, I want to say, where are they at? Does anyone know? Gail, where's Craft Outlet located? So I know that they have a little disclosure on the top because of the hurricane that's coming into Louisiana.
I thought they were Louisiana. Yeah. Evie just said, yeah, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yep.
So their orders might be delayed. So you've got to look into things like that. So right when you launch their website, and you don't have to have a wholesale license to order from them, anyone can order. So you read those disclosures like, hey, your order might be delayed because, you know, the hurricane. So in a case like that, you're going to prepare for it. Okay, give yourself 2 weeks. If you're doing a custom order, I always give it a week and a half to get my ribbon order in. I know that I can easily put the wreath together in a handful of hours and be done, and then the next day ship. So if you're handling custom orders like that, that's what you'll want to plan for. But generally, it depends on where you live, what day you order. So like if you're ordering today, they're not going to process that order until Monday. So count from Monday out, and then again, depending upon where you are, I think for me it takes about 7 or 8 days.
Yeah. Ruth Ann said, I love watching the lives. I like how you explain as you go. I'm sure that I will learn a lot from you.
Thank you.
I know I do. And then thank you, gals. Carla, Evie, They both kind of told her it's out of even Darlene said it's out of Louisiana.
Nice.
And there's gals that say I'm in Texas. I get mine in about 4 days.
See,
so
the closer you are to Louisiana, the quicker you get your order.
Oh,
For
Gail
us
is
here.
on. Hi, Gail. Gail said, yeah, I order mine on Monday and I get it normally by Friday.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you live.
So my problem is I usually order on a Friday, so it's basically like I could have waited till Monday and processed my order. Okay, back to bow making. So 10 inches is where we're going to start. So, we were talking, I'll show you when we do the next ribbon how to do the dovetail. So we're going to flip this. So when you're using the bow dabber, all you're going to do is twist. That's all you're going to do. Steve's going to zoom in. And then I always flip mine around. It's just a habit. It's just something I started doing. People always ask, why do you flip your bow dabber around?
So you don't have to worry about the ribbon.
Yeah, if you notice, this never gets tangled.
Right.
So now I flip it. So I'm doing 5.5-inch loops. And I always bring it back to the 10, and then this way I can look down with my measurements and see, boom, I'm right at the 5.5. And then I just pull this out 10 inches, and then I'll show you how we dovetail the ends. So dovetail, you're going to take your wired edges together. You're going to cut from the folded side right to the tip. So depending upon how far up you are on the fold determines the depth of your V. So if you like shallow V's, then you're going to just go like right here to the point. I like them a little bit deeper. What are you doing?
It fell.
It fell?
Yep.
Oh, and then, so I like deeper V's, so I come up a little bit higher on the point, and then I go straight down to my, the wired part, and then you have a really pretty perfect V. So I don't know how many of you guys were like me when I started wreath making. We cut our ribbon in, we cut our ribbon in, and we hope at some point we meet in the middle, and then it's like, maybe not a perfect V, but when I first saw that for the first time, I was like, oh, how easy. How did we not know that? So now all your Christmas packages are gonna look beautiful.
Hi, Jane. Remember Jane Moore? She was from Australia, I believe.
Yes.
And then Bridget said, I missed the first part, so I can't wait to watch the replay. Tanya, no, we haven't really felt any earthquakes lately. There's been a couple, but we've been good.
Small.
They're small. Yep. We're used to them.
Thank you, Lord. We don't need any big ones right now. So this next set of ribbon is going to be a 9.5-inch tail with a 5-inch ribbon loop. And if you keep them right on their marks, when you go to fluff them, they should be even. It's not an exact science because I've had it happen a time or two where I'm fluffing and I can clearly tell one side is bigger than the other. So you can make adjustments to it before you make it permanent. And we're out to 9.5. Sorry, little girl. How many of you guys make gingerbread cookies for Christmas? We buy the mix and then we roll it out and decorate them. Because I don't got time to do it from scratch. That takes some mad skills for people who can do the gingerbread from scratch. And I'm gonna slowly put these back. It just makes it easier when I clean up my mess as I go. Okay. Now we're going with the red flag. This one's gonna be 9 inches, but we've always got to put that finishing touch on all of our ribbons. And if you don't like dovetail, just consider slanting your ribbon off at an angle. That makes a nice finished look too.
Evie's on me. I love gingerbread.
I love gingerbread too.
But it is hard to get a really good gingerbread recipe right, to make it right.
To make it from scratch?
Yeah.
There's probably some master people who can easily do that. So this one's going to be 4.5 inches. This one and the one after it, the loop sizes are going to be exactly the same. This is just for me a formula that I came up with that gives me a bow that is about as full as I need it to be.
First, Joanne Kitson said hi, first time watching. I love it.
Where are you from, Joanne? Okay. And I know we're going to try to sneak another live in for the public group over the weekend. I just don't know when. Steve's looking at me like we are. I'm like, we are. Yes, we are.
Tony said great grandma used to make homemade ginger snaps. Oh, my grandmother too.
Your grandma made ginger snaps too? Aw.
Remember that?
We bought all our cookies. My mom worked 2 jobs. Single mom, working 2 jobs. She didn't have time for cookies. I think we bought all of ours in the Pillsbury dough roll. So you had to be like ultra like self-control to not eat the cookie dough.
Oh, Joanne, she's local. She's from Northridge, California.
Really? Ah.
Joanne, we're up in Victorville, so
We're on the other side of the mountain range.
yeah.
On the back side of the mountain.
But still not even 2 hours.
Yeah.
About 2 hours.
Well, we're on the other side of the San Gabriel Mountains, right?
Yes.
Up in the high elevation. Okay, so this one, 4.5-inch loops. This had the 8.5-inch tails. And I was contemplating, do I really want to put brown in? Should I put beige? And I was like, if you look at the gingerbread cookies, they kind of have like little toasted ends. So I was like, don't want to make it like all the others. Let's make this one different.
Yes, Evie, grudgingly, I'm doing the next live on Friday.
Yes, have you guys heard? We have managed to convince Steve to make a wreath next Friday. So we're going to switch spots. I think we did this, in 2018? Did we switch? Or was it 2019?
No, it's 2018.
We just had fun switching. He's making a Christmas wreath. He doesn't know what type of Christmas wreath yet. So that should be fun. So this one's going to be 8 inches. I love these colors together. This is going to be a 4-inch loop. So let's make sure we're accurate on the 4. Yep.
Simone said, can't wait, Steve.
I know.
can.
Steve's like, so what if I want to do this wreath and you can't get a wreath kit? I'm like, well, you just have to pick something different. You can't just be stuck on the one. So I don't know where. He's decided Christmas. Have you decided?
Just
what?
Christmas, because that's what we need to stock.
Well, Christmas
So,
is like, yeah.
Yeah, so
You like Christmas.
Tony said, wow, Steve, I must not miss it.
Right? Okay. Last one. My favorite. The Velvet Gingerbread Man. So again, this ribbon came from Craft Outlet. And it's so nice. It's very thick. Has a really good piece of wire in there to give it all the support it needs.
All the women are all, yay.
Right?
And then Jean says, wear something pretty, Steve, next Friday. I'm
What?
wearing her Cat's Creations bib.
Are you? I don't think you will. I think you'll be like, no,
I don't
I'm not
think
wearing
I
that.
can. It doesn't fit me right. Yeah.
It might not. I don't know. You just be you. You just be you. He's our guest wreath maker for the day. So these ones are 3.5-inch loops, and this just has a 7.5-inch tail to make this particular bow. So if you like this bow formula, for me it works and gives me a pretty full bow. And there's nothing that says that you have to put the 2.5 on the bottom. You can go 2.5, 2 1.5 then throw in another 2.5. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
I'm not wearing an apron, Debbie. I'm wearing my tool belt.
Yeah, it'll have like scissors,
some ribbon in it.
beadsmith. Yeah, your beadsmith pliers. That'd be funny. Okay, so we're gonna pick this whole thing up. I'm gonna use the beige pipe cleaner. I just hold it like this. It's like the Vulcan hold, just so that I can see it and then it goes right around everything. I prefer pipe cleaners. You can use zip ties. You could use floral wire, whatever works for you guys. For me, I've just noticed as I've aged, Steve's noticing this now, we're losing our grip strength. Like the stupid creamer bottle plastic, they're not pull tabs, it's the paper that drive us crazy. So using the pipe cleaner helps.
Thank you, Barbara.
Okay.
She said I saw you making a fisherman's wreath and it was really good at it.
Yeah, your fishing one was like the bomb.
Still never sold it.
Stop. Okay, so we're 18, I would say this all the time, 18 by 24 inch cutting board. It's 3/4 of an inch thick. Best place to go get them, go to Lowe's or Home Depot, go into the wood section. They have these automatically in 24 by 24 inch pre-cuts, an inch thick. Pick that up, you're done. Put a C hook on it to help with your ribbon. I use this for my fluff board. So I just prefer things flat and low instead of higher up and small. I can't deal with a 12-inch space. I have to have bigger because my bows are bigger. And then you can add, if you want to use it for like the bows you make on your Pro Bow for a fluff board. And then it stores easy because I just set it next to the fridge. So for me, most of the stuff, the reason why I use what I do, storage. It's a premium in the wreathing community. Everything is about storage.
Tanya, do you have a tutorial on the beautiful angel hanging in the back? I've made several, but not like that. She does. It's on Etsy. It's a paid tutorial.
It's a paid tutorial because you get the link to the tutorial for as long as you want. As long as YouTube remains up and active, you can have access to the tutorial. Yep. And then you get the materials list. And the one that's listed on YouTube is for the patriotic angel, but all you have to do, and I explain it in the video, is substitute it. So if you're doing Christmas, you could substitute it with white iridescent. Color combinations are going to be your choice. So that's on my Etsy shop. So when we're fluffing, everything goes in an X. So we start at the bottom and we pull tails and loops completely opposite of each other so that you have loops and then you have tails. And then we're going to go down to the next one. We have our loop here. So we're going to go here. And what this does, I'm going to move this one over and go to the other side. Here's my loop. So I'm going to move my tail and my loop. So what you're starting to see is a pattern of 2 tails, 2 loops on this side, and then you're going to keep working down. I don't worry about fluffing until I get everything all situated. So this is following our white pattern. Go to the other side. We're going to go opposite. We have a loop there, so we're going to go tail and then loop, and then we're going loop and then tail, opposite side. Trying to get the ones up underneath it. We're gonna go loop and tail here, following the red. Go over to the other side, loop and tail, gingerbread follows, and then gingerbread follows. And now you fluff everything. So you can pull all these out, get them all situated, open everything nice and pretty. What I try to do is make sure, except you can't really do it on the top, is make sure that your color of your tails don't match up with the loops. So you separate them so that you have like just different color combinations kind of coinciding with everything. And you'll probably end up fluffing this 2 or 3 more times by the time you get it on the wreath. And for me, looking at it, I'm always looking at, I don't have an awful lot of tails here. They're kind of off to the middle. I don't have an awful lot here. So these are going to be places knowing that I'm going to place my sign that I think we're going to put the bow in the middle this time. So that'll be different. So I'm kind of keeping that situated. And that's all done. And because we cut off those center pieces, we can kind of come back. And I like it right here for some reason, which is right where I took off one of my center pipe cleaners. So I'm just feeding this down to the bottom. And then I'm just gonna kind of turn it like so. And when you pull it down to attach it to the frame, do not pull it all the way down. If you pull it all the way down, you're going to collapse that fluffing that you just did.
Yep, so you want it to kind of float on there, right?
Yes, you want it to, well, especially on this one, it just needs to float on the top. And it's gonna be just fine that way. So I'm just kind of spinning it around. Okay, now we need to take our sign and prep our sign. So it comes with this little bit of twine. You can try to pull it off or you can just cut it off. I just don't want to crack the sign. And then we're going to attach this with, I think I'm going to go with the beige because they're a little thicker than the white. Just like this. I make them little V's, and then I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to take my staple gun. You know what I was thinking in my head? One of these days we're going to have to look for the, see how many staples are in the staple gun, because we never look and we never change it and we're out. So Steve's going to go ahead and put staples in the staple gun for me. As long as your sign is 1/4 inch or thicker, you can use the staple gun. I've seen people use the adhesive ties or the adhesive little stickers, the little cable ties. Those are great, but it's so much easier just to, you know, staple it on. You'll see I'll do a little twist that'll keep it from sliding up underneath the staples. And then I don't have to worry about it potentially coming off if they leave it outside and God forbid they get a heat wave and the glue starts to melt and then the adhesive starts to come off. And if you've tightened it on your wreath frame pretty tight, then the tension builds up over time. That's what I've noticed. That's what made me immediately change from doing using a staple gun on the wood or MDF versus using the little adhesive things that I used to secure my wreaths down into the box. So we'll wait for him to pop back in, and then we'll attach this. We are just going to be embellishing to the outside. I thought that all done. I thought that my larger gingerbread people would fit on this wreath. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll look. So here we go. Boom, done. No glue.
I'm sorry,
no
but I was
mess.
zoomed in the whole time.
I know. I didn't realize that until I looked down and I'm like, oh.
I'm sorry.
I've been talking to them. So they've seen my hands for like the last minute or so. So I just put a staple on each end like this.
Mm-hmm. You could use, cable tie mounts. Tanya says I glue E6000 small popsicle sticks on the back before I add the staples. Yeah, you could do that.
You could if you're afraid that it's not quite thick enough.
Yeah.
I think like
as long as you get the 1/4 inch.
Yeah. So if you don't have 1/4 inch staples, then yes, that would be a concern that you want to make sure. Okay, so we're gonna add this super cute sign. I'm in love with this sign. We don't want it to impact anything in our bow. So it's gonna hang a little lower. So I'm going to get this down to the bottom. I don't want it up too high because I don't want the bow hanging in the way of the sign. So I'm just gonna lightly secure it in case I need to move it. I don't want to twist 15 different times. This one's gonna go right where my pipe cleaner used to be. in the center, which makes for easy access. There we go. Go through. Trying to make sure I don't go 3 rails thick. So I'm gonna move these. Trying to pop my ribbons open and pull these back just ever so gently. So, ta-da! There's our sign. What do you think?
Yeah.
You're kind of quiet.
I like it.
Okay, so now we're gonna embellish the outside for now. So we're gonna take more gingerbread. So we're gonna take these are 14-inch tails. Why did Kath go 14 when she always goes 13 or sometimes 12? Do I ever go 14? Maybe, sometimes. When I really want to throw Steve off, I'm like, he's like, so those are cut to 13? I'm like, no, 14. He goes, why'd you go 14? I'm like, just to throw you off.
Or 13 and a half.
Yeah, or 13 and a half. This time it's because we're doing a poof. So when you do a poof with a 10-inch poof, you have a 5-inch depth. So if you take your ribbon and you go 5 inches deep, you're not going to have that much that sticks up. So I went 14 inches so that my ribbon can
Tails stick out 7 inches on each
out.
side. Gotcha.
Yeah, they stick out a little bit more. So we're just going to go around the outside and just alternate these. Remember, they go way in deeper than we're normally used to seeing our tails go.
Kathy said, love it. Evie said, love it. Always. Or love it like always. Love your bows.
Aw, thank you.
Kathleen Spruitt, your kitchen is always so clean. Do you cook? Not getting too personal, I hope.
No, but people ask us that all the time. They're like, your kitchen is always so clean. And I'm like,
we used to cook a lot. We don't cook as much anymore.
Our kids all left, so it's
Our
just
kids,
us
it's
two.
just us, yeah.
So like on Friday nights, we always plan, it's our night out. Then we don't have to like clean the kitchen in addition, but we do from time to time.
From time to time. We'll make spaghetti or we'll make
Something
pasta.
simple.
Something, yeah.
Something simple, but yeah. And then I grew up, again, single mom, 2 jobs. So, there was always dishes in the sink. So when I grew up and got my own house, it's a pet peeve that I have to keep my kitchen clean because I just probably spent my early childhood years being groomed into that type of behavior. So it's natural. And my brother's the same way. So he likes to keep his kitchen clean too. Because we always grew up with we wake up in the morning and there was a sink full of dishes. Yeah. And I hated that. I hated putting my hands in cold water. Because you got to let all that stuff out. But
Tanya said, I'm going to try and tackle a giant Christmas sucker and candies. That would be interesting. You'll have to post a picture in the regular group.
That sounds super fun. And I can't wait to see how this one comes out. Because I've wanted to do one a little bit more brown for a while. Which is Poufs.
Thank you, Kathleen. She said, Steve, you're one of the very few people who actually said my last name correct.
What's her last name?
Spruitt. So I got it as it's Spruit.
Okay.
So.
He's really good at pronouncing names.
Yeah.
Like if you want to look at the genealogy of people in the Bible, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know how someone would pronounce that name. Steve just rattles it off. I'm like, you're just a natural.
It's my superhero talent.
Is it?
I guess.
Name pronunciation? I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these ones are a little, you really have to go deep to get to your pipe cleaners on the outside. Which is why, as I was fluffing, I was pulling those pipe cleaners to the outside. Because with a poof, they get hard to find. What do you guys think of the colors so far? Do you like it? And then you're never going to guess where we got our embellishments for tonight. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're like, haha, because you had to work on them for me. So
I had to bake them.
You did not have. Yeah, I guess in a sense you did have to bake them
Yeah.
in a weird scientific kind of way. I love this ribbon this year with the red truck. This is perfect for people who like Gingerbread Man and the red truck at Christmas.
Ari said cute. Tony said beautiful. Sarah said beautiful. Christian said I love them.
I'm always so challenged to think like out of the box, like, ooh, let's do a crazy color for Christmas. Let's do black. And then people are like, what? Oh, but it came out good. The black and cream.
Mm-hmm.
Black, cream, green, and white. Or tan. Something like that.
No, it's okay, Libby.
What?
She said we'll have to come up with a superhero name for you.
They can come up with a superhero name for you. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm finding all my pipe cleaners. We're almost done, and then we'll do our half bows around the outside. And those I've cut to 17 inches for the 1.5-inch ribbon. And I decided to use the velvet. Okay, 2 more.
Gretchen asked, where did you get the embellishments?
Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I still had some gingerbread embellishments left over from my storage unit purchase, but I think I burned through those last year. Because I think I made 3 gingerbread wreaths last year because they all sold.
Was that a pun?
What?
You burned through it.
I burned through
The gingerbread.
it? No, that was just an unintended pun. Nope. But see, you picked up on it. So I'll just say yes, it was. It was intended. As a
So what's
pun.
funny is the little miniature gingerbread people that she's going to use
Yes.
it was like an ornament at Hobby Lobby, and there was 4 of them on like a little baking tray.
Did I say
And I literally had to heat the back of the baking tray and kind
You
of
threw the
melt the
baking trays
glue
away.
off
Yeah, I'll shut
to
up.
get them off.
So, like these things. I needed really small little gingerbread. And these are 2 inches. Like 2 inches by 2 inches. I needed small ones.
Yeah.
And so I thought, if I go to Hobby Lobby, I bet they're in the miniature section. No, there is no gingerbread men anywhere in Hobby Lobby. And so I have full-size ones, really big ones, but for this design with this sign, I can't really incorporate them. So I needed something cute. So I think we'll do the red. Yes, we'll do red. So half bows. 17-inch pieces already dovetailed. You're just gonna bring your dovetailed ends together. You're gonna go up to the top about 2 inches, like the gingerbread men, just like that. And you're gonna put them right on top of your pipe cleaner, and you're going to twist them about 5 times just to make sure they don't come off. You're gonna take your pipe cleaner, tuck it behind, open your ribbon, and then pull those out like an awareness bow, just so that it adds that stitchy. I see it as like little icing pieces. I don't know. Are you looking?
Yeah. She'll turn it here a little bit closer to you guys once she does the next one.
Oh, I will? Wow.
Well, as you go, you'll be turning it. Yeah.
So look, I'll try to do this one this way. Okay, here's our pipe cleaner. Not gonna do anything different. Got my bow already set up. Gonna take it. I'm gonna put it right inside. Take my pipe cleaner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just do it 5. Cut it. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna open my loop, but I'm gonna take my pipe cleaner and go right behind so you don't see that. And then you're going to, you have to take one side, flip it around, and then you open your loop. And that's how you make a half bow. Just so that it's nice. It kind of creates that finished look all the way around your wreath. we'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snip. Go around. Open.
Gretchen said, "Oh my gosh, those are cute. Nice idea."
Right.
We weren't sure we were going to be able to get the little gingerbread guys off, so that was interesting.
Yeah, because like literally we walked every aisle in Hobby Lobby looking for small miniature gingerbread.
I had to take my propane torch and literally heat the back of the tray and heat them off.
Right. So 4 gingerbread people came on a little cookie sheet. And I was telling Steve, see, that's what I need right there. I need the little gingerbread people, but not on the cookie sheet. And then I pulled the ornament down and I was like, do you think you could get them off the cookie sheet? And he's like, well, let's buy 2 in case I mess up the first one. So yeah, he came home and propane torch to the back of the cookie sheet so that the glue kind of softened and off came the gingerbread cookies.
Yep.
So voila. So take that, Hobby Lobby, for not stocking
So
gingerbread.
I baked gingerbread men today.
So you baked them, burnt them, kind of,
Burnt
in a
a
weird
little bit.
kind of way.
Pamela Frey said, "New method. I'm going to try that with ribbon."
What's that? Oh,
The half
making
bow.
these?
Yeah.
I like these. I was gonna take the I had jute, what was it, like beige and white. I was gonna just do a jute loop, but I just kind of felt that this wreath needed to be elevated a little bit more with more ribbon. And I really wanted that theme of the gingerbread was needed to be prominent. So that's why we're doing it this way.
Thank you, Shannon. Shannon Trahan said, "Hey, Kat and husband. New one here from Lafayette, Louisiana. During the hurricane right now, but finally caught you live. You're incredibly awesome.
Thank
Hope
you.
to caught y'all live again. See y'all later, guys. Shannon, be safe."
Be safe. We're praying for Louisiana. That was the first thing we prayed about this morning. And my prayer meeting was
We haven't heard, huh? We haven't heard just what the category is, or is it just a...
no. Cause someone update us on the hurricane. We prayed that it would just be like, by the time it moved to land, it would be a tropical storm. And then I was like, oh, but those people probably don't need a lot of rain. Okay, Lord, we just need rain, but move quickly.
Yeah.
So come on land as a tropical storm, but move through quickly.
Yes, let us know how things are, if it's what the category is, how it's doing.
Because we've been in prep mode. We've been working since 6:30 this morning. But I don't start prepping my wreaths till about,
Bev said it's a category 2 right now, so
that's good.
that's not too bad.
But I'm sure, I think they just got over one and now they're getting hit with another one.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, Lord, just make it quick. Move on land and move out. Ta-da! I'm really liking this design a lot, especially this ribbon. It's just, I would love to scent this with gingerbread. If there was a way that you could scent this gingerbread, that would be amazing.
Carla said, "In my area, we're just getting rain and wind, so that's good."
Nice.
Shannon said, "Oh, thank you guys. Category 2, good. Hopefully it won't stay.
Move on.
Yeah, hopefully it'll stay category 2 and start getting less and less."
Well, I think it does as it makes landfall. It loses its punch. But I was like, oh, even, I think they still need no rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the big gusts you got to worry about, right? And
Yes. Okay. We're going under our ribbon now. See, wouldn't this, doesn't it feel like you should be smelling gingerbread right now? Or like cookie smell? We should have lit a candle. Then it would have just kept inspiring us. Cookies.
well, once Evie sends us some, then it'll smell like gingerbread out here.
Oh, Evie's sending us gingerbread. Does Evie know this? She's like,
Right now she does.
no. Okay. Spinning it around.
Ooh, Debbie said there's over 200,000 without power right now. Shannon said, "Oh my God, that's horrible. Trees that fell onto mobile homes, winds 100 miles an hour."
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes, Lord.
I didn't
we
think
pray.
category 2s were that big. I thought they were.
It probably
considered
just
small.
depends on where they're at.
Yeah. Well, we're praying for all you people out there, all you gals.
Move quickly.
Stay safe. Stay indoors.
I'm sure once it's safe to do so, they'll get those electrical things back up and working quickly.
Darlene asked, could you incorporate a cinnamon stick? Sure.
You could. I thought about doing that.
But you never know.
I was going to put cinnamon sticks in it.
But Kat said before, you never know who you're going to sell it
Sensitivity.
to, and people could be allergic, right? So,
Sensitivity to smell.
right.
But they could put them on there if they wanted to.
There's even gingerbread scents, right? So,
You could do
I'm sure there
essential
is.
oil
yeah.
with like a gingerbread scent. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking when I was a kid, we used to make gingerbread ornaments out of sandpaper. Because it has a sandpaper texture, so it looks like a gingerbread that isn't cooked. And then what you would do is you take cinnamon stick and rub it on the sandpaper to give them the scent. So that was our cheesy Christmas ornaments back in the day.
Evie said, I missed it. What did you say about gingerbread smell? Evie, I kind of volunteered you to send us some gingerbread cookies since you make them from scratch.
That is
But we won't hold you to it.
No. Okay, last one, and then we'll embellish.
Hi, Ruth. She said, I love your channel for decorating. You're natural with matching colors.
Thank you. I just like to, I don't know, push the envelope a little. I think it's whoever designs the signs and the ribbons creates the inspiration. This was really easy to go off of. Just looking at the sign, you would naturally pick tan, red, white, and then it's up to you if you wanted to add a green or brown. And I just thought the brown was a nice little element to go with the cookies because they got little brown tips.
And then you could kind of do that. And not really maybe with a gingerbread candle, but you could get those little, what are those little mini
Tarts?
tarts? You could send it in with like a gingerbread tart.
Not COVID, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time we're walking through Hobby Lobby, it's like people are coughing. And I'm like, then it just, for some reason, it makes you want to cough. And I'm like, not COVID, no cough.
Evie said, oh, yes, I'd be glad to. And then Sharon said, let's all send Evie our addresses.
Right? I'm looking for the ones that are all different. This one, I think.
Maybe 4 different ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's the one with the stringy loopy bow, the one with the candy cane scarf, the one with the bow tie, and one with the red bow tie. So we're going to incorporate these and put these into the wreath. So one of them is actually going to go into the bow. What I have done in the past is add them to the sign, but I don't really want to impact the sign this time. So let's see. Thinking red. Red. Red's going to go inside our bow. And then we're going to add, let's see, do I have 6? 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6. I have enough. Okay, so we're going to put these on the red because I don't really want to impact the really pretty ribbon. So we're going to add these with a touch of glue to the back. So I use Gorilla Glue. I don't want to burn. So we want to fan our ribbon and add our little gingerbread man. There we go. Swish. We will open the ribbon. Put those in there.
Oh, thank you, Cindy.
What's that?
She said, I'm a silent watcher, but just want to say how relaxing it is to watch and listen.
Aw.
You are very creative and very calming. It is a perfect way to slow down after a super busy week in the medical world. Thank you for sharing your love of crafting and Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you for all you do in the medical field right now. It's definitely a tough
field to be in.
Tough field to be in, right? Because they're essential. So while some people have had, have been furloughed, the medical industry has had to be out there working the front lines.
Yep.
So my hearts go out and prayers go out to you guys in the medical field who are doing that continuously.
Yep. Especially if you're front facing with COVID.
Yes.
You have to take extra precautions.
What do you guys think of adding the little gingerbread men? Do you think that's a nice touch to our wreath? I so like these. They're so cute. Little gingerbread men. The ones I used to have used to come on a garland, and when I went to Craft Outlet to look for them today, they're completely sold out for the season. They are not coming back. So I was bummed. I had to come up with a quick plan.
I think that's your last one, right?
Yep. Well, the bow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I wanted a bow. Yep. So let's open this.
Tony said they're adorable. Bev said adorable. Libby said absolutely. Kimberly said yes. Yeah, they look. They totally match.
See, I know Michael's has some, but let me make sure that guy stays where I can see him on the actual bow. So let me show you the ones I was looking to use. So, like these ones. So see how these are way too big.
A bit too big, yeah.
Yeah, they're a little bit too big for our thing, and they don't really hit the sign
super cute,
just right. But you can get these at Michael's. I think they had them last year, so they'll just get recycled into another design. So, yeah.
Right, Libby said it makes me want gingerbread cookies.
Right. Okay, so a couple things. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on the door, and I want to show you a couple things that I just listed on my Etsy store. So once these are sold out, I have 2 fall wreath kits and 3 Christmas wreath kits. I'm going to show you what goes into a mystery box so you can kind of get an idea of what I stick in there. And then also I'm selling, because over 3+ years now of doing this, plus getting the storage unit buyout, I've had a lot of Christmas signs. So I kind of put together bundle packs of like 10 different signs. So I'm going to show you what that would look like as well.
Have a good night, Evie.
Have an idea. Okay, so let me take this one off. Okay.
And then hi Karen. Karen from up in Alberta.
Oh,
She
hi,
said
Karen.
she's been making supper, but she was watching. She said beautiful wreath again, Kat.
Thank you. This is our gingerbread one for 2020. So that one's all pretty much. Probably won't be able to take photos of it because it's getting too dark now here in California. So pictures will be forthcoming probably tomorrow, unless we take the door to the garage. So there's that. What do you guys think?
Hey.
So.
Oh, Jennifer Farr said my country Christmas candle wreath arrived today. I love it. It's so beautiful. It makes me want to start decorating for Christmas. Thank you. God bless. You'll have to post a picture.
Yeah, send me pictures, Jennifer. Just kind of like sneak it out on your door and let me see what it looks like.
With the candle on.
I love to see people's doors because they're so amazing. So yes, this is for sale. It's already listed on my Etsy site. You just have to look for my Kats Creations logo. I stopped using the Facebook Live logo, so now it